Again, it needs to include who the narrator actually is. We looked at some examples on the board. You guys did a great job, and then you were released back to your seat. I looked at everyone's work. I was like poking around during lunchtime, and I noticed a couple that I wanted to shout out. So one is Armara. I'm not going to read it to you because we're going to do a day where we read these a little bit more thoroughly. But if you even just look from even way back there, you can tell, right? She wrote. I wrote for her because she was like, where do I put it? Lead hook. And then she rewrote the beginning of her writing to make it even stronger. It tells exactly who she is, I'm Margaret, and exactly why she was writing. The second one, which is actually what we're going to do today, he knows because he got a picture sent to Mr. Dixon, is that Amari went a little bit above and beyond. He actually erased his. You don't need to do that, and I'm going to show you what you can do instead today. But he rewrote his lead. He was super proud of it, right? And that's how I want you to feel about your writing today when you go back and you make some revisions. So everyone say, go, go, Amara.
Go, go, Amara.
Say, go, go, Amari.
Go, go, Amari.
That was confusing because the names are similar. Okay, put your work away. Here's what you're going to do now. Today, we have a different focus, and you're going to try and add this to your writing. So we talked way back when in our last writing about showing your reader, not telling your reader, right? It's more interesting to have someone show you something. You can close your eyes and actually picture what's happening, and Clementine is super good at that. We're going to make Margaret good at that today. I have 2 examples on the board, and you have 2 Post-it notes. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to read these in your head, blue, red, and then you are going to write 2 things on each Post-it note. One of them is, what is the feeling you get when you read this? How do you think the speaker is feeling? How do you think the speaker is feeling? And then the next thing you're going to write is this an example of showing how the speaker feels? Or is this an example of the speaker telling you how they feel? You only need to write 2 words. Write a feeling word, and then underneath it, write showing or write telling. Blue goes on the blue Post-it note. And red goes on the pink Post-it note. I got as close as I possibly could. They do not make red Post-it notes. Okay, so checking for understanding really quickly. What are you going to do, and what is going to go on the Post-it notes? Alasia.
So on the blue Post-it, on the blue picture, on the blue words, you're supposed to put it on the blue sticky note. And on the pink one, you're supposed to do the red.
What are you going to write on each Post-it note? Bianca.
We're going to write the feeling and the show and tell.
Great.
Show and tell.
Perfect. So how is the speaker feeling? How is the speaker feeling? Is this showing or is this telling? Got it? Great. So read it first. You have 2 things to jot down. I'm going to set a quick timer because this won't take us very long. I'm going to be walking around. Pick up your pencil. Go for it. Kayla is looking very carefully.
Backed up some and everybody else is trying to read it.
Here, stand right there. So you're reading the blue one. Read the blue one. No, okay. Good. How is the speaker feeling? Scared or worried? Write it. I'll read you the red one. If anyone else wants me to read it, I'm right here. I kept picturing my mother's, I'm so disappointed in you, Margaret Ann Clark face out of my head. Here come the tears again. How is she feeling? I'll read it again. I kept picturing my mother's, I'm so disappointed at you, Margaret Ann Clark face out of my head. Here come the tears again. How is the speaker feeling? How is the speaker feeling? Yeah, how is the speaker feeling? On which one? Okay. I'm interested to hear why you think on the red one, but if you think... Yeah, so what's the feeling? What's the feeling? Do your best.
Wait, no.
Write down. You want me to read this one? Right now. I kept picturing my mother's, I'm so disappointed at you, Margaret Ann Clark face out of my head. Here come the tears again. How is the speaker feeling? Are they showing you or telling you? If you're not done, when the timer goes off, put your pencil down and we will go over it together. I'm just doing a quick walk around. I want to see how people did with this. Okay, yeah, I think most of us need to add that. Great, if you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap once. Great, put your pencils down. We're going to talk it out really quickly. And if you hear something that you didn't get, we'll get a moment where you can just pick your pencils up and do it again. So, the first one was, Aaron, read it to us.
I was worried thinking about how furious my mother would be.
Great, strong silent hand. How is the speaker feeling? Octavius? I was worried thinking about how furious my mother would be. She's worried. She said it. She's worried. Okay? Someone who can see the red one. I had to read it in the back of the room. Kayla, do you feel confident you can read that? Great, quickly, please.
I kept picturing my mother as I'm so disappointed at you, Margaret, and Clark face out of my head. Here comes the tears again.
How is that speaker feeling? Xavier?
Mad. Because I think it was Margaret's mom that was talking.
You think that this is Margaret's mom talking? Okay, I had to explain this a little bit in Dartmouth. I may have gone a little too, out of the box here. I made up Margaret Ann Clark. She seemed like a Margaret Ann Clark to me. I don't know why. But listen again. Think who the narrator is and how they might be feeling. I kept picturing my mother's. I'm so disappointed at you, Margaret Ann Clark. That's the face. I kept picturing my mother's face I couldn't get her face out of my head. Here come the tears again. Who's speaking? Kalia? Margaret. How is Margaret feeling?
Sad.
She's feeling sad, upset. I saw disappointed. I saw worried again. I think I would agree with any of those. She's worried about her mom and how her mom is going to react. Here's the part I don't see a lot of people that did. I see a couple people. Which one of these is showing the reader that Margaret is worried? Which one of them just tells the reader that they are worried? Maya.
I think that one.
Use colors. It's color coded for you.
The blue one.
The blue one is what?
The blue one is telling. Because if it was
A lot of friends are
like
agreeing.
I was shaking, and the other one is showing.
Yeah. This one just flat straight says, I was worried. You know the feeling and you know why. This author, me, maybe created a little bit too much of a picture in your mind of the fact that Margaret is sitting there picturing her mom's really upset face. And then all of a sudden she's like, oh, here come the tears again. You had to actually read and try and step into her shoes to figure out that she's feeling very worried right now. I'm going to show you how I put this into my writing, then you're going to get a chance. Leave your Post-it note aside, flip over my example, and I'm actually going to have you skip the beginning because you looked at it yesterday. While I'm getting the board ready, you can just start reading. While I'm getting the board ready, you can just start reading. Mael, please mark 2 additions for your contributions. Xavier, mark an addition for your contributions. Kayla, mark an addition for your contributions. Remember, you are reading in preparation for me coming back to you and showing you my example. Please tuck your chair so you're focused on your space. Thank you. Can you take the feedback? maybe could have worked on like how it was said, but.
The whole thing?
It was working. Ah, there it is. Okay,
Read it.
so again, you were reading. Great. I saw everyone doing it. Right now you're flipping to page 2. We talked about page 1 yesterday. That's why you see the lead all marked up. Page 2 is where I started thinking, how can I show my reader how I'm feeling and not tell them how I'm feeling? So I'm really quickly looking around, make sure you're on page 2. I see table 1 is there. Page 2. Aaron, page 2. So here's why I didn't start it until page 2. You can stop reading and put your paper down really quickly. The beginning of my writing, I didn't actually share a lot about how Margaret's feeling. It was more just her starting to tell the story. I got glue in my hair, I went to the restroom. She wasn't having a lot of feelings then. But once she started cutting her hair, that's where some of those emotions started to pop up. So I wanted to make sure my reader knew, is Margaret thinking like, what a great haircut, I look beautiful? Or was Margaret thinking, I look horrible, what am I going to do about it? I figured out that it was like later on when she was in the bathroom, so I went to my second page, and here it is. This is what I did. It's similar to what Amari did yesterday. I'm going to reread, and since these notes are kind of hard, I'm going to show you where I crossed out and what I included to show, not tell. I'll read you my first example, or my original writing. When I looked in the mirror, just want to make sure you see where I am. I'm that sentence that starts when. When I looked in the mirror, my hair looked so bad that I started to cry. I basically just said it. How is she feeling? Erin. She looked in the mirror, she saw her hair, she started to cry. How's she feeling? She's sad. If someone's crying, they're usually sad or upset in some way. I thought, that's not interesting. I want to explain actually how Margaret was feeling in that moment. So I crossed it out and I revised my writing. I realized what a horrible thing I had done. It looked like a weed whacker had attacked my head. My face got that scrunched up feel and my eyes started to burn, and right there in the bathroom, I started to cry. What can you picture in your head when I'm reading that to you? Xavier's doing it. What can you picture in your head? What do you picture in your head? Turn and talk to the person next to you. Oh man, I missed it.
Do it again.
What do you picture in your head?
Scrunched up my eyes.
She's like scrubbing these fields, right? Like, I made a huge mistake. And what do we all talk about when we If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap 2 times. Great. Hugo shared that he actually pictured a weed whacker like attacking this girl's head. Show me a scrunched up, I don't want to cry face. Oh, and then here come the tears again. You more so can picture in your head what she looked like than when I just said she started to cry. I did it one more time and then it's going to be your turn. Go to the next paragraph. Suddenly the door opened and I could see Clementine coming in. I quickly put a paper towel under the ground. I wasn't explaining why did she do that? Why was she what was she feeling in that moment that she felt like she needed to crouch down? So I explained it. Can somebody read the little note that I took to show how Margaret was feeling? Amari, go for it.
Heart.
Read it from the board, Amari. It's kind of cut off.
My heart pounded. I couldn't let
Anyone?
anyone see me like this.
When your heart's pounding, we talked about this last time. How are you feeling when your heart is pounding? How might she be feeling her heart is pounded and she's scrunched up on the ground? Deny it. She's feeling nervous. Kamaya?
She's feeling, I think, embarrassed.
Okay, she's feeling embarrassed. She doesn't want Clementine to see her. You are very quickly, and part of, like, number one when we write rule is that we organize our desk, and you have a lot of materials out. So please find a way to very quickly take your Post-it note, put them on my exemplar, put the exemplar off to the side, take out your writing. Aaron, it should take about 30 seconds to get your desk situated, and then you're going to be released to work independently. Good.